Ben, let's come back to you. And, well, Lord Bethell.
Yes, my noble and gracious Lord Bethell has taken to the internet to express some concerns. He says that the health and benefits announcements this week have been uncomfortable for many of us. However, denying the reality of the situation will only exacerbate the issue. It's time to face the facts. A significant portion of the British population is too physically and mentally unwell to maintain employment. Some may never be able to return to work. Let's hear him talking about this with Times Radio.
I think that we need to abandon this collective denial. I think the government needs to look really closely at these figures and accept the fact that there's a huge amount of genuine physical illness in the country, and hundreds of thousands, millions of people are just too sick to work, and they are not just sick, they're sick and fed up. The really striking number is that the average number of morbidities is 3. In other words, people have 3 things wrong with them, not just one. These aren't people who are just feeling a bit grumpy and can't get out of bed to go to work. These people are carrying significant illness and, in addition, have got mental health problems, which is very common if you're ill.
So we're sick as a nation. We have more than 3 million people on personal independence payments now, which is what's replaced disability living allowance, right? These are people who are permanently signed off sick. It's about 10% of the entire workforce. Just think about that. It's an absolutely staggering figure. There's some analysis of these figures from Ed Dowd over on Twitter, which show a 76.7% increase in new claims in 2022 and 69.1% in 2023. So these numbers are going up quite significantly.
Sorry, Ben, just before we move on, if we just put that graph back on screen, is it a coincidence that this stuff started in 2021?
Well, probably not. And I think that's really the issue at hand, isn't it? Right?
Yes.
And a lot of this stuff's really bad, because we're talking about serious injuries to people. It's not just, I can't quite get out of bed, or I'm a little bit down in the dumps, so you've got to sign me off work. We're talking about nervous system damage, right? So actually one of the most striking increases is, as we can see on this next chart, is the new neuropathy claims are up 680% as of October 2023. And they started to rise in 2021, and we all know what started in 2021. And Lord Bethell is absolutely right to be concerned about this, but probably not for the reason that he's communicating to us, because Lord Bethell is a noble lord. He sits in the upper chamber of the British political system, and he is one of the most senior health ministers in the government. He certainly was until very recently, but during the COVID years, he was personally responsible for all COVID procurement, so he oversaw that personally. And he also had ministerial responsibility for the development of the new vaccines, working in close collaboration with the pharmaceutical industry. The question is he trying to clean up his mess? Actually, I don't think that he is, actually, because this appears to be a ruse to roll out the next wave of their plan. So he's just issued this document last week, I believe, or maybe the week before, Health is Wealth, a fast start for a covenant for health. They really want to get going on this, authored by, amongst others, Bethell, but also David Halpin, yes, from the Behavioural Insights team, who is also very closely involved in coercing the entire nation into participating in a medical experiment. And what do they want to do? Well, it's all about preemptive healthcare, preventative healthcare. And they say we must optimize the potential of big data, database segmentation, diagnostic tools, and genomics to identify, target, and intervene earlier in order to keep people healthier, right? So this is all part of the same technological paradigm that got us into this mess in the first place.
Indeed. And the question is, where are they going to get all the data for this big data that they want to talk about?